just want you to sit in your chair and go, hip hip hooray, for the Western press and the Western narrative, regurgitating the same old, every single day, without the stop. Please watch the first series, the first 2 episodes, the second series. Look at that.
Absolutely fascinating.
And it was the first time the Beatles had really stopped being semi-professional almost.
Hello everyone, it's Friday, current affairs, which is everything about all these bloody politicians and wars and Mendelssohn and now they're trying to involve Putin. Would you believe that? Come on. It's had to be Russia. Oh, you can't. This is how pathetic the West is. If you're an enemy, boom, get in the Epstein files. That's what it's all about. Trying to involve everyone. But I really think that, it's alleged that Mendelssohn gave secrets away. And when they were trying to involve Putin, that they were saying Epstein was a Russian spy. Yeah, he was asking Mendelssohn, and it's come out, some Norwegian former prime minister, to have a words with Putin to get in and interview him, get into Russia. So if he was a spy, he couldn't even get into the country that he was spying for. It's ludicrous. Pathetic. And this is the way it is. This is the way it's got. This is the West. This is the West. You'll have a Xi Jinping next and Kim Jong-un of North Korea and the Ayatollah of Iran with the Epstein things. It's pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. But that's the way it is with these silly people. What have you been saying? The boss says, greetings FC and chatters. I was talking to a man from Mexico yesterday who told me that when Nixon resigned, on the verge of being impeached, Mexican public were not aware of the scandal. Oh well, it's nice to know, isn't it? Mexico were aware. Anyway, yeah, and that the film, All the President's Men, was not released in this country. For me, watching that film told me that if the USA president can be a crook and escape jail, anyone could and have. I think he was set up, to be honest, by the CIA. Nixon. And I'll tell you for why. I was a young man at the time. And once he went to China, China's always been the adversary to America, along with things. Excuse me. Oh, for fuck's sake. I can't get it. Right, so it's always been an adversary, China, along with the Soviet Union, I'm talking about at the time. always been an enemy of the States, China. And when he went there, Nixon, that was the downfall of him. They had to get rid of him because they didn't want any close relationships with China. Just like today, you've only got to look at today. And I said that at the time. And then they tried to impeach him because of it. And that's it. They've always had a deep state. You do anything wrong, they'll get rid of you one way or the other. Like they did with JFK in 1963. You see, so never trust the Americans, even their own. Albeit like the assassination on Trump, that was a phony, that. Anyone could see that. A phony. And you've only got to look at that fella. He's just been given life, hasn't he? I forget his name. He was caught on the golf course. He was going to assassinate Trump. And yet they got him. But you see that young lad on the roof. You see that young lad on the roof. And they shot him dead. They shot him dead. That was phony as well. That lad was a little patsy, to be honest. Just like Harvey Oswald. Lee Harvey Oswald. Even in season of Franco, I had IBR. I am it. Now it's all Putin and Russia's fault for the Epstein files and the Winter Olympics being hacked in Milan. You can't make these things up, can you? TW. Even in Frank and chat, even in C. Johan. Because even in Frank and Legends, smash the likes on the way in. Thank you. Thank you. Johan. When I say that Franco and chat is very interesting news day. In my humble opinion, I hope Starmer isn't pushed out of number 10. I hope he continues to dig his own grave and the voters remember all. Yes. Yeah. He's got to go though. He has to. There's no two ways. He's a bad dude all round. Bad leader of the country. He's brought Labour down. And as I've mentioned before, the last election, it's the first time since I was 18 years of age never to vote. Never to vote. Never to go along and put my ballot paper in, put my X on. First time since I was 18. All because of the Starmer fella. And the way Labour's gone. Labour's finished. And you've got this Farage. And it looks like if they had a general election tomorrow, he'll be MP, the Prime Minister, the PM. That's how bad this country's gone. Farage. And he had to go at Putin, didn't he? He said... He's getting in with... See the way they all follow the narrative? Before the Epstein, these latest ones came out, there's not a word of Putin, was there? For over a year, they've been shouting, release the files, release the files. They released a few. Not one word of Putin. Then all of a sudden, someone said, Putin. Bang, they're all in on it. This is how pathetic the West is. The West is so pathetic. and they're under the thumb of von der Leyen. The EU is pathetic. The EU is stopping all the form of energy from Russia next year. And they were all jumping around and congratulating themselves. Remember a couple of weeks ago, by 2027, there'd be nothing coming out from Russia. And everybody was, it was a party time. And yet they put themselves into dire trouble because of it. It's just so pathetic. And I don't know why the likes of Europe is scared of America. What are they going to do? You know, what's America? I know they're in Ukraine now, America. And they want to take Greenland and Cuba and Colombia. They've already more or less taken Venezuela. I just don't understand Europe. I really don't. They wouldn't stand with Denmark, albeit I don't like Denmark and their policies, because they were the first country, weren't they, to recognise Moldova. Remember? A made-up country, so that NATO could go in there. It's mind-boggling. It really is. It's mind-boggling about the West. Cowards. But, you know, they won't stand by Denmark. What right does America have to annex a part of a sovereign country? The population don't want America. See what I mean? They don't want America near them. And that's America for you. Do you trust America? I don't, never have done, never will do. Because they've always been like that. Even from a very young age, I said they want to police the world. But it goes on, you know. No one took a blind bit of notice of me. Got a blind bit of notice of me. Still don't. But they do want to police the world. But the global south, not saying no, you know, we're not going to entertain you. Which is good because someone's standing up to them. The de-dollarization is coming. It's not going to come tomorrow or next week, but it will come, finally will come. It's just... Steve Mulholland, thousands protesting in Milan against ICE Gestapo agents being there. Well, you know the ICE, where they get all their things from, don't you? Excuse me. Tiny little country. Excuse me. Tiny little country in the Middle East. But that's the way it's going. It's just going that way. Remember Orwell? George Orwell. And the police state. Big Brother. There's already Big Brother here. And it's all control. You're controlled what you say. And that's wrong. We grew up, or I did, in a country that was free speech. If you disagreed with it, that's fine. You could say, I disagree with that. But the way it's going, if you say that, you could end up in prison. What's that all about? Remember the Soviet Union? And people, I do know a lady from Russia. She's still there. A lovely lady. I've had her on my show. I've had her on my show when I had the little studio. And she's a wonderful lady. And she can't get out into Europe simply because von der Leyen stopped all Russians from coming into Europe. And believe it or not, it's knocking the tourism. Because when Russia came and visited countries, they spent a hell of a lot of money. Not that they wanted to stay here in any Western countries. Some did. They ought to go back to Russia. So you see the way it is. And this lady who has said, she's an international interpreter. International interpreter. Lovely lady. She's done the Olympics. She's done football. She's done everything. Going all around the world. She speaks several languages fluently. She loves here in Liverpool. She loves it here. That's how I got to know it. And she can't move out of... got a picture of her here. She can't move out of Russia simply because of those silly people in the EU stopping all Russian people from leaving their country to work like her, doing her job. I don't know where it is. We got it there now. I thought that was it there. I've got a picture of her. I'll show you the loads of pictures. Millions of them. No, can't find it. It's a shame. Bloody hell. I've just got millions of pictures, you see. It's time to get hold of it. I used to have a Sunday show about everything, a Sunday show. And I invited her in. Oh, yeah, I've got it. Got it. And I invited her in. There she is there. That's the lady. Loads of languages she can speak. And she can't move out of Russia. She was interpreting for last year. She was in Dubai, I think. She was interpreting there. And these are the people who can't get out of Russia to do work because of von der Leyen. And Johan says, guess Noam Chomsky's manufacturing consent has a whole new meaning since he was on the island. Yep. Yes. Yeah, you wouldn't think that at Chomsky, would you? Little old man. How many other people have been there? Hey, that are not found out yet. I think this is the end of the royal family, you know. I really do. But you agree, if they went into oblivion, obscurity, would you be worried? Would you be wanting them back? Because it was all coming out what that Prince Andrew was like at his own, the way he treated these servants, people who work for him. Even they knew about his moods, even by his footsteps. They knew his mood. He was a dog, apparently. Like that Meghan Markle. You had to call her Your Royal Highness with your head bowed and not look at her. Think about that. Meghan Markle, who the fuck is she? She's fucked off, hasn't she, with some Arab. Can't make these things up. That Prince Harry, he's a fucking dick. And Toscana, remember in the Munich air disaster, May? They rest in peace, yeah. Yeah. That's a great team. Man United then. Duncan Edwards, I always remember. Young kid. Killed. Played for England as well. He was playing for England. He's only young. Yeah. The Busby babe says the boss. Steve Mulholland, Epstein didn't kill himself as a great documentary on the free steaming. Tubi, yeah. Of course he didn't kill himself. I think he's still alive. I've always said that. Always said that. Because no one could recognise him, could they? Remember, I forget who it was. I don't know whether it was a coroner or someone belonging to the medical profession. That side of the medical profession. Could have been an assistant who said he was unrecognisable. Think about that. And Johan says to the boss in Toscana, they are immortal in our hearts, yes. The Busby babes. Even if Frank says Linda Ellis, are you Lynn? And carries on by saying Starmer must go and take his party with him. We need an election now. So you'd get Farage. Well, he's the likely Prime Minister because the Tories are finished. They're useless. They're as useless as Starmer and the Labour. So you're in a no-win situation. And Linda says, speaking to someone who knows you, told me you used to go to the pub with his dad and someone called Colo. Yeah, that's our kid, that. It's our Jared. It's our Jared. Used to go to the pub, eh? Seems a long, long time ago now when I went to the pub. To be honest, Lynn. The boss to the young one. Not sure the voters are getting wiser. For me, the reverse is true. Giving power to any politicians is a sort of hope over experience, or passing the buck generation after generation. We've always passed the buck. All politicians are liars. Frank, have you seen that the Ukrainians tried? Yeah, the seconds in command right after the negotiations. Johan, right after the negotiations. How despicable is that? But Putin's now has gone to the security to see what should happen. I think Putin's a bit of a fucking divvy, I'm being honest. They should just go in and go back. Gloves off, get in there, sort it, and that's the end of it. And they could do that in a couple of weeks instead of pussyfooting around. They could take Odessa at any time. They've already blocked it. They could take Kiev any time. And instead of messing about, you know, how many generals? I think there's been about 4 generals who have been assassinated. And he's fucking allowing it, Putin. As great as he is, but he shouldn't be messing about. He should just get in there. That's it, sort of, once and for all. Get rid of that fucking Zelensky. That bum. He's a bum. He's taking your money, my money, and everybody else's money. That's what he's doing for his own personal gain. Nothing else. It's not going to an ordinary Ukrainian. It's going to him. And it's going back in the laundry. It's going in the big washing machine. And whoever's given it over there, it's coming back to them. To the big man. Little Lynn says, we are going to end up a 3D class country. We've been like that for years, Lynn, to be honest. And Johan, to stay. Have you seen the account of one of the guards of the prison, Roberto Garalava, claim he was changed out? Yeah, Epstein's alive. He's in Israel. If there was a big invasion now of Israel and they grabbed everyone, you'd find it. Thought you were dead. Nah, I'm not dead. I'm a Mossad agent. Steve says, no, I haven't. Paul Burke, my old mate. Good evening, Frank and chat. I can't get past that Zionist and Israeli bastards are at fault for 90% of the world. Yeah. They own the USA and UK politics. We need to get rid of them. Exactly, Paul, but how do you get rid of them? They always play the victim, don't they? I'll be talking more about this tomorrow in the morning on the TV and, you know, film and TV review. And it's about little Hind. Hind, I'm sorry. Hind Rajab, the little child, the 6-year-old. who was badly mutilated by bullets and things and whatever by the IGF. And it's harrowing. Harrowing it is. And I was, excuse me, I'm sorry about this. I was looking at it, and you actually heard a voice, and the way they've done it is fantastic. You know, the people talking to it, obviously they're actors. They've taken over the real people who were talking to it. It's like an ambulance service, Palestinian ambulance service. The actors are, you want to see it. And I think they were getting very emotional acting, if you know what I mean. And hearing this child's voice, help me. Help me, they're shooting at me. If you can get hold of it, please get hold of it and watch it. Please. I'll give you some idea of what these fucking parasites are like. Actually, this is actually in the war of the American independence. I was there at Angel under George III. The British can be highly deceptive. Love you, Frank. My mum's a Scouser. I understand. I understand what you're saying. Don't forget that the British, that started in 1776. And even the British in 1812 burnt the White House down. It was all charred, hence they painted it white. That's what you've got today, the White House. Jesus, this fucking thing. It's itchy. Unbelievable. Under my nose. Johan's there. Jimmy Zor covered the day before. Look up Roberto Grillo. I like Jimmy. I haven't been watching him. I've been busy, I haven't watched Jimmy. And Steve Mulholland went to see him last November, I think. No, it wasn't last November. It was before November. I thought he was coming in November. I wanted to see Jimmy Dore, and he was only appearing not far from me. And Steve Mulholland said, I was at the Jimmy Dore show. No, they've done nothing for me, says Linda. They've done nothing for me either. Wasn't it Andrew that dated the porn Q-star? Do you know what? Was it him or was it someone else? And when they found out that she was a porn star, she was an American as well, Q-star. Was it him? I know it was one of the royals. Yeah, it must have been him, mustn't it? Andrew. Must have been him. Remember it well. Q bloody Stark. God's Christ. It just shows you, when you connecting the dots. And I thought, was it? Must have been him, mustn't it? with Q-Star, you know, you come up to it now. Have you seen that photograph where he's on all fours? And to me, that's a young girl on the floor. You know, you just see her face blacked out. But when you look, you know, she looks like a kid. And the freedom, freedom. Good evening, Frank. Think we need more time to form a Green Corbyn coalition. I understand that, but I think Farage is in the driving seat at the moment. He's in the driving seat. And imagine him becoming Prime Minister, please. And he'd become the next Labour Party leader. You can't have that divvy Rayner. She's corrupt as fuck, eh? And she wants to be leader. How can you do that? It's go from bad to worse. Then you've got this Sweeting, and he was his mentor, Mandy Mandelson was his mentor, so he fucking knew all about him then, didn't he? So who have you got left? You've only got Miliband, Ed Miliband. There's no one else there. But they've got to have a leader, one way or the other. And whoever they choose, no one's going to like anyway. So they've got no one. They haven't got a clue. And Miss Super supporter power to the boss. Best wishes to the host, Frank and chat people. Thank you. Thank you. And Stephen says, yeah, I did see that, Johan, because Jimmy Dore mentioned it. Question, says Johan. How do you know a Zion Nazi is lying? Their lips are moving. Want to say to Franco, sorry I'm late, everybody. Great to hear you, Bella. Hi everyone, hope you're all well. They're all in fine form tonight, to be honest, Bella. Steve Mulholland. On Wednesday night, I met Fidel Castro, Antonio Smirnov, go away, the grandson of Fidel Castro, and a scientist was in the cassette. Go away. I will send you pics by it. Go away. Look at this name. Fidel Castro, Antonio Smirnov. Fidel Castro. There's a mate who's got a Che Guevara on his arm. I was quite surprised when I seen it. I said, yeah. Very surprised. Che Guevara. But the Yanks wanted him badly and they got him, didn't they? Killed him. The Americans have always been like that. Thanks for that stay anyway. Get to send them, please. And Barry Aldridge, even a Frank and everyone. Frank, what's your thoughts on Burnham? Well, he's not going to become... he's a Liverpool fella, isn't he? I remember being at the, Upper Anfield for the memorial for the 96 at the time. It was 96. And I was just sitting there in the cop. And Bernard came over, he was addressing him. And he came up to tell us that there'd be no investigation or anything. No investigation. He came up to tell us, like the fucking Jack Straw was saying all the time. Remember him, that prick? And one fella just stood up and said, justice. We want justice. And then we all stood up. And Burnham went down then to Blair and said, listen, you've got to do something. These people are not going to give up. So we got the ball rolling. And who signed a thing for an investigation? You're going to believe it. Who signed it to give it the go-ahead, because you'd have to have his signature. And that was Keir Starmer. That's all. Well, still nothing happened. Still nothing happened. You might as well say that, what's his name? Andrew. Should he go to jail? Yeah, of course he should. Will Mandelson go to jail? Well, he should go to jail because he was passing stairs, allegedly, state secrets. Does anyone go to jail over Hillsborough? No. No one went to jail. No justice has been served. But Burnham, getting back to what you said, Barry, about Burnham. You know, he became a big Evertonian as well. So he's a Scouser. Became mayor of Manchester, done more for Manchester than any other mayor. So the people in Manchester say, yeah, let's have him as leader. But he was blocked. He was blocked, wasn't he, by Starmer? Because he was a threat to the Labour Party. Whether he could have reorganised it and that, I don't know. I just don't know. Was I vote for him? No, because I've give up at Labour. I've give up with any sort of party politics. Because these people who you're voting, they con you. You've only got to look at Trump and what he did, how we got in. Besides money from Adelson, from the Jewish Brethren, millions to the campaign. And it was all a lie about peace. It was all a lie. Because he's the most warmongering president I've ever known. They've all been bad. You know, I go back to George Bush Sr., right through to this fella now. Every one of them have been bad. Warmongers. Stamping their authority. Saying you do what we say to all countries. But they can't say it to who? China. They can't say it to Russia. They can't say it to North Korea. Can they? They're not going to bow down to them. And that's what they're like, every single one of them. Those are American presidents. But then again, the puppets. The puppets. I know. Does anybody know about Kushner and Witkoff? They fucking sell houses. They're not even diplomats. And yet Trump's sending them out for negotiations. Peace negotiations. Are they fucking right? This is what he's got surrounding him. Trump. Fucking idiots. Idiots, every single one of them. And he won't listen to anyone else. Lindsey Graham. I tell you what, Lindsey Graham must have something on him, you know. Because I remember him saying when it was in the January when he became president on the 21st, and he said, get rid of to the people of North or South Carolina who Graham represents in the Senate. Get rid of him. And now look at him. He's never off the telly, that Lindsey Graham, telling Trump what to do. He's a nothing man. And yeah, he's giving foreign policy out. Ridiculous. The boss, Frank, I think that was the 20th century anniversary Hillsborough Memorial. Yeah, I was there too. And the crowd, we all stood up, yeah, on justice for the 96, yeah, to shut the BS down. Yes, that's right. Yeah, boss, have you got any idea who stopped the memorials being at Anfield? Have you got any idea? I know. Who did it? The boss, and of course, as you said, no justice for anyone. For the 96-7, for anyone anywhere, not at the Hague, not at Strasbourg, nor the UN, zero. Exactly. And Johan Kushner owns 666 6th Avenue in New York. Nothing to see there, folks. No satanic symbolism whatsoever. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Kushner. Two Jews, Kushner and Witkoff, doing the negotiating, you know, for the proxy fucking war. A proxy war that they're involved in. The middlemen, you can't fucking make anything up. If it was there's a film called Idiocracy with Luke, what's his name? You know, Luke, forget his name. Luke Owen. And, no, it's not Luke Owen, is it? I forget his second name. But anyway, Idiocracy is about cryogenics, and he goes into this thing, and he wakes up like 200 years later or whatever it is. And the world and America is a place of, well, dysfunction. It's not a dystopian world. And idiots run the country, to run the world, and that's what that's like. That's what it's like today. Oh, blimey, what's his name? Luke Wilson, is it? No. I'll forget his name. Derek Hatton. No, it wasn't him. Johnny. Wasn't Degsy. It wasn't Degsy. But I know who it was. I'll let you know. Terry Crews was president. Camacho. Trump was worst. That's right. So you. Luke Wilson. Thank you, Johan. Oh. Paul Burke, my old mate. I fell for the beer, Frank. Thanks. Catch you in the morning. With a hangover. Yeah, there's a couple of films, I'd like to recommend as well. I've been watching them. New ones. So, catch you in the morning for that, Paul, lad. Enjoy your beer tonight. I watched that in the Idiocracy when it first came out. The world has gone past it, in my opinion. We must be mad trying to make sense of insanity. You're right. It's a good film, actually. It's funny. So whoever wrote the script must have been at the time and gone, this is the way the world is. Wait till in the future. I tell you what, I was watching something on YouTube. I don't know whether you might have seen it. Not a film or anything. What it is, it's AI. And it's fantastic. It's like 19th century. And you see, people like 19th century dress. And you see these incredible, I'm not saying spacecraft or anything, but these things floating in space, but people inside them. Eating and drinking and whatever. Unbelievable. So you see, it's absolutely incredible the way they've done it. Like, it's hard to explain. You've got to see it. You have to see it. Someone must have seen it. It's on YouTube. But there's a few of them. I watched it for an hour. There's music with it as well. Lovely music, relaxing music. The IBR to Johan. Also, Trump Tower as the 7-7 numeral. Go away. He wants to build Trump Towers in everywhere, more or less. Trump Towers everywhere. Yeah, and a sidekick. Grabador. Margaret Grabador. The pair of them. They fucking stopped it. Because FSG has a words here like that. And, must have been a words and something else. Another little reward, if you know what I mean. They fucking stopped it. They stopped it, Paul. Yeah. What a fucking pair of prats, eh? Johan to the IBR. Well, Israel named 4,000 acres of land in Jerusalem as Trump won. He must be into that. Trump won, so you can imagine a big Trump Tower going there. I tell you what, though, that Hind, have a look who produced it. I was made up. Three well-known stars, Hollywood stars. One, Brad Pitt. Mara Rooney, good actress. And Joaquin Phoenix. They produced it. With other producers, but they were mostly Middle Eastern people. Watch it. The acting is incredible. The actual voice of Hind. Oh. Heartbreaking. Heartbreaking. I went shopping with our Francine today and she said, I don't want to watch that, Dad. She won't watch it. Because it really is bad. I get you. If you don't like what's going on, we see film, we see footage. We see footage of what's going on. We're living it now as we view these things. We're living the moment. But when you listen to that voice, it brings it home. It really brings it home. What's going on? And how evil. Johan mentioned about 666. There is 666 on that thing there. If you think there's demons in reality, I think this proves it. This proves that there's evil people. This proves what Shakespeare said. Hell is empty. All the devils are here. It proves everything. And if anyone does have the courage to watch it, please let me know. Please let me know what you thought of it. And Johan says they've live-streamed a genocide, and I used to wonder how common people allowed the Nazis to come to power in Germany. I know now. There you go. In a nutshell. In a nutshell. If you want to follow ideology, you know, we all have ideologies. And sometimes you follow the wrong one. Sometimes you follow the right one. It's like different paths in your life. You open a door, you see paths. You know, which one shall I go down? Some people go down the wrong path. Other people go down the right path. So you see the way you know, you've only got to look at yourselves on here now. You've taken a path. And most probably you've all taken, I do know one path. I know two paths, three paths. Lindsay Ellis, because I know her. Steve Mulholland's, I know him. Paul Baker, I know him. You see what I mean? So they're the paths that they've taken. And they're honest paths. It's never all been like plain sailing for them. It's no plain sailing for anybody. But when you go down the wrong path, and I'm not talking about individuals here, I'm talking about a country, a tiny country, and they've taken the path of destruction. And you know what I mean? And that destruction means whatever's in front of you, you get rid of them. That's what their destruction is. And what's the West doing? They're just standing back to saying, oh, that's wrong. Why don't they do fucking something about it? Instead of saying, oh, that's wrong. Or keeping quiet about it, which some countries have done. Why don't they fucking tell America? Because there's Trump now. He put onto the table with these three fucking real estate fellas who are pretending to be diplomats to go to Iran and have negotiations with Iran, and they put in demands that they know that Iran is going to say, no, we can't accept this. And what does that say? Enough to say, okay, well, we're going to fucking bomb you. All because of one little tiny country telling America what to do. Because they've bought America. Think about that. They bought it. So how do you buy America? It's not like going over there and buying a fucking house. You're buying something else. You're buying the lip service. That's what you're buying. And this is why the Middle East is torn apart by this tiny little country and a big country, their ally. Yet we've, as a go at it as well, we've been helping. If you've ever fucking known the likes, the UK, Great Britain. There's no fucking great in Britain. There's no great in anything. You know, you might think that I'm having a go at the country that we were born in, and we're all English and, British and whatever, and we're such a great country. We built an empire on blood. People think that, to build an empire, you just go in and go, yeah. How would you like a school and a hospital built, and nice roads, and nice big buildings? How would you like that? Do you want that? Do you think we went in there and did that to build an empire? No. Did we fuck? Slaughter, blood. Don't forget William Blake. As the hapless soldier sighs, as blood runs down palace walls. What's that telling you? Hapless soldier sighs. As blood runs down palace walls, and the blackening church appalls. So he's having to go with the state. Blood, palace. Think about that. That's the elite. Blood on their hands, like today. Blood on their hands. And that's going back to when this was written by William Blake in 1794. 1794. That was written. So we've got blood on our hands. It's only what America are doing right now today. They want an empire. Look what they did. Venezuela, they've got their president in jail in America to stand fucking trial. What the fuck is that all about? They can do it. And if they're in Ukraine, as you know. They've started all this in Ukraine. I hope you know that. They started it all. So they wanted the foot in Europe, didn't they? With NATO. No, we won't move forward. We won't go east. This is in 1989. No, we won't go. Then the Berlin Wall came down. Fucking hell, they're right up on the fucking doorstep. And Ukraine, they said, no, you're not fucking going there. That's on our doorstep. What did NATO have? They have fucking big nuclear weapons. It's America. For me, Wales War 3 started in 1945, says the boss, and most of the public don't realise that they are pawns in a game ruled by the few. Look, there was a Cold War. A Cold War. And that Cold War, America, when it finished, America wanted it up again. They said, I've got to get at them. So you've got a new one now. A Cold War. Until the big bombs start. You know what I mean? And you've got a president who was involved in these Epstein files. And to distract, he's causing fucking chaos. You know, everyone was talking about Ukraine. So when that started time, and the more Epstein files are about to come out, what did he do? He went straight to Greenland. And to be honest, if he gets away with Greenland, he won't stop there, you know. He'll go further east towards Iceland. This is what he's like. What the fuck? See what I mean about wanting to police the world? They want to fucking own the world. This is why he went into Venezuela. This is why a little island called Cuba is being choked to death, because there's no oil going in there, that Venezuela. And you heard the... One of the demands that Kushner and Wickoff gave to the Iranians was, don't sell oil to China. Because they knew that they're going to say, fuck off. See what I mean? They knew that they weren't going to accept it. I feel like that fucking soldier in that poem, London, as the hapless soldier sighs. It's like me, as Frank Carlyle sighs, as blood runs everywhere where America is concerned. And the freedom. I said, no, that's the Shakespeare quote. Great wisdom. Thanks for sharing, Frank. Thank you. Yeah. In fact, there's a film out, Freedom, and I advise you to watch it. And it's All the Devils Are Here. Watch it. Brilliant. Be talking about it tomorrow on the film and TV review, along with a few others, actually, good ones. And the boss says, watched the film last night of USA Greed and the Federal Idiocracy about the 2008 Wall Street crash. Film too big to fail. But William Hurt, he's a good actor. Is he dead now? William Hurt, I think he's dead, isn't he? Or am I getting mixed up with someone else? The IBR. I know an osteopath. Do you? For me. I've got me thing through. Got to go on the 27th of next month. February. No, it's this month, isn't it? Okay, now. We're in Feb already. So I've got to go on the 27th about my spinal cord. See what happens. Neurosurgery. I just hope that I can get all right. I want to go to Italy twice this year. I've already paid for a little holiday for Francine and my granddaughter. I want to go to Verona to see Juliet. I've seen it a few times, but Juliet's balcony, because my granddaughter loves Romeo and Juliet. Oh, she came top in the class. And do you know what she excels in? History. I can't believe it. I'm French. French. Great kids, aren't they? The sponges. Sponges take everything in. An osteopath. If someone could, honestly, I've got to try something because I'm fucked. Really. And Barry, well, they allowed Trump into power, didn't they? How do you stop lunatics running the asylum? How do you stop lunatics running the asylum? That's what I mean. That's why I didn't vote, Barry. I said, I'm not fucking voting. I'm not voting. Oh, you've got to vote? Who the fuck are you? Tell me you've got to vote. I'm not voting for a phony. They're saying to you, oh yeah, well, this is what we're going to do, and do fuck all. Nothing. Sorry for swearing, people, but it's the way it is. It's the way it is. It's the way I am. Do you know what? I never ever swore in front of my family, you know. Ever. And I'm like a bloody trooper today. It turns into a trooper, swearing like a trooper. And the boss says to you, well, most of the masses don't want to leave their comfort zone and will only react when they come for me. The English government destroyed my life, family, enterprise and property 40 years ago. I tell you who I feel sorry for today, the pensioners. That's who I feel sorry for. You know, they work, they bring up families, the good people. And what do they get? Do you know that? I don't know whether you're aware of this, but the state pension in this country is the worst in the whole of Europe. Yep. The worst. I remember going over to Germany to do a bit of work. And I was talking to these pensioners, and they go on holidays. Everything's paid for by the state, and they get spending money. A lot of spending money. You don't have to pay for it. Go anywhere in the world. That's how they got looked at. I don't know whether they get today. I don't know. Not the way Merz has got Germany going bankrupt. All because of von der Leyen stopping energy. Because they're losing Volkswagen, the people's car. They're losing it. Who brought that out? Hitler. Volkswagen. Johan says, as Confucius wrote, revolution must come from within. An egg broken from the outside is food. An egg broken from the inside is a new life. That's brilliant, that is. And Confucius said that, eh? Well, it is a new life, isn't it? The yoke. When you get these great philosophers, you know, I always forget who said this. I'm sure it was Leo Tolstoy. When he said the rich have an abundance of poor. The rich have an abundance of poor. The rich making the poor work. As long as they've got the poor under control, we're all slaves. We've always been slaves. And that's the sad indictment. All our working lives. Some people were on better pay than others. But, you know, they can't retire and enjoy life because it's taken away from them. Do you ever remember the scandal with Maxwell, Robert Maxwell, Ghislaine's dad, when he was dipping into the pension funds? What happened to him? No. Should have been in fucking jail, him. Wonder what he'd think of his daughter being in jail. She's the only one out of all the Epstein things. She'll be let out in a couple of years. IBR says UK column exposed more than 170 MPs on the smaller payroll. They're all corrupt. They're all corrupt, IBR. Every fucking single one of them. That'll be old mate Paul Keane. Matthew 7:30 mentions one of those paths, Frank. Yeah. Thank you, Paul. Paul took the right path. He took the right path. Entertainer. Very good entertainer, actually. Good to see you, Paul. Thank you for joining us and giving us that little bit of information. The paths. Either you take the right one or you take the wrong one. And it's as simple as that. But some people go down the wrong one, then all of a sudden they realise and they change course. But in the eyes of someone who does that, you say, well, it's too fucking late trying to look for redemption because you left a trail of devastation behind you and you'd expect to be. Freedom. Frank, do you know much about the history of Jerusalem and the Crusades? I don't. So that would definitely make an educational view. You say, look, you've got to look at the way the Crusades were. You've got to look at it. And it was ethnic cleansing against a race of people. And I don't know whether you're aware of this, but there was the Franks around 720, in the 20s, 720 something. And they actually stopped an army, the Islamic army that was defeating everywhere. And they got to France. You've only got to look at Spain and all the Moorish buildings, and they were there, they were settled, they were covered, the Islamic. And the Franks stopped them. France, obviously. Franks. And they stopped them. And if they wouldn't have stopped them, I think we would have been Islamic today. Does anyone know that? But I'll do that about the Crusades. But I'd have to talk to Anthony as well, because I like Anthony coming on the show. He's good. He's good. Loves his history. But the Crusades, it's not just a matter of you've got the likes of what was going on in this country at the same time, so you'd have to bring that into the equation. Because all the barons and the earls, they were all pissed off with Prince John. Prince John's got a bad name, as you know, with Robin Hood and all this. Why did he get a bad name? Simply because he was putting up taxes. And you've got to ask yourself, well, why is he putting up taxes? Because all the earls and the barons, they were fucking fed up with it. Look at that, putting up taxes again. Do you know why? He was putting up taxes. It was to pay for the Crusades, because the King, Richard, the Lionheart, he was saying, listen, I need more dosh. You better give us it for these soldiers and for us to eat. So he's putting up the taxes, but he got the blame for it. So there was lots of connotations with the likes of the Crusades. As I said, what was going on in this country. So you've got to bring that in. To pay for ethnic cleansing. But I'll do that. I will freedom. So I'll have a words with Anthony. What are we doing? We're doing something. We're actually going to do something. I forget what it is. An educational thing. Obviously. Monday night. I know that we're going to talk about, you mightn't like it, but we're going to talk about Shakespeare and the characters of Shakespeare. And who are the characters of Shakespeare? Incredible people. I've got this pain here. It's horrible. I've got my tablets here. I'll have to take one. Sorry. Where are they? I'll have to take a tablet. The tiny little fucking things, these, If you drop one, if I drop one, I'll never be able to pick it up. Excuse me while I take it. It's what you call pain relief. You don't call them painkillers anymore. to make sure that it's not stuck in the back of you. And when I was doing a pod the other night, my mate from Tampa said, don't become addicted. What can you do? What can you do? If you're in pain, you've got to take them until I go to see this neurosurgeon, because it all stems from my spinal cord, unfortunately. When I broke my neck. Oh, fuck. The boss says to Johan, but for me, revolution means going around in circles. Let us strive for evolution. Well, you might as well, if you, oh, I can't, can I? I'm sitting in the wrong room, aren't I? It's Friday, isn't it? I should be sitting there with what's behind me, what'll be there. And it's a little flying saucer. Or a UAP, as Johan correctly says, UAP. Donna, our lovely Donna says, have you listened to Kleptocracy by Orchestral Manoeuvres in the Dark? OMA, yeah. OMG. It's their album, Bauhaus Staircase Citizen. Absolutely outstanding. No, I haven't. Johnny. OMG. My Beatles days were over, unfortunately, when they came out. No. See, I like lyrics as well. I like lyrics. What they say. You've only got to look at the Beatles, what they sang. They were giving out messages, always had done. Revolution. It's gonna be a revolution, if you know what I mean. They wanted the winds of change. And Johan, to the boss, evolution for the elites means bringing in a technocracy that makes humans redundant. Just look at Amazon firing workers for robots. Have a look. I mentioned it at the beginning of the show. There's a thing on YouTube. You want to see it? Futurama, it's called. You know, it's just there. I was watching it. Couldn't believe it. Fantastic. And as I said, the likes of H.G. Wells and Jules Verne would be absolutely delighted with it. Put it that way. Jules Verne. And you answer the boss. Revolution for me means spinning the oligarchs off. You would never want to get rid of them. Nobody. I'm afraid they're there to stay, or they're here to stay. And their little process will carry on. It's a closed group. And no one can touch them. No one. You know, There's oligarchs in Russia. You wouldn't think so, would you? There's oligarchs there. Ali, good evening. Good evening, Ali. Johan. Evening, Ali. Paul Keenan. One wide, one narrow, yes. And the narrow is what we walk down, unfortunately, because there's more wide ones than narrow ones. You know, people might think the narrow one is the evil one. But if you think about it, there's more people that are evil for that wise one, and they all walk together in a line. The cross, if you know what I mean. That's why it's wide. They go together. Like that, walking down. Not like that, behind one another. It's like that. That's why it's a wide road. Well, I should have said that, shouldn't I? But that's why it's a wide road. A wide path, rather. And you've got the likes of me and you who walk like that. And that's why it's a narrow road or path. Because only 2 are wide. 5 are wide and the wider one. Walking hands in hands, arm in arm. And they're the evil ones. They're the empire builders. They're the military complexes who just love making bombs. Why do you make bombs? Bombs are for destroying people. I was looking at something in America. I always follow these terrible crimes that happen in America. And I'm talking about wives killing husbands and husband killing wives and bringing other people in to kill the wife for insurance and whatever, or just to get rid, instead of just walking out. Instead of just walking out. They'd rather get rid of them, but they always get caught. There's millionaires sitting in jail now, never get out. They're going to die in jail because of the fucking greed. They didn't want the right to have anything. And you've got loads of them in America. And the IBR, there won't be any nation states once the dust settles by 2050. After World War III, the world will be carved up into economic zones, all controlled by an AI technocrat beast system. I don't think there'll be this earth will just go white. White. There'll be nothing to live, you know. Nothing to live. No orgasm. No. It's your fault. No organisms. No plants. And even the cockroach won't survive. And the cockroach can survive a nuclear weapon. And they won't even be a survivor. They'll become a statistic. And the boss to your evolution for me is people using the brains and no dependency on leaders, nor technology, and certainly not artificial insanity. AI, artificial insanity. Yeah, well, you can talk as much as you want and, come out and you're still fucked. No matter what. No matter what I say, no matter what you say, anyone says. So how'd you stop it? How'd you stop a lunatic like Trump? How? How? He's one man causing fucking chaos. Who else is causing chaos? You might think Putin is, because they're trying to bring him into the fucking Epstein files. He went into Ukraine to stop the genocide going on against people from the Donbass area. Yeah, genocide. He even came out and said it in 2014. He said, stop this genocide. So they had to do something, the Americans, and what did they do? Instead of fucking stopping the genocide and saying, yeah, we'll stop that by the Kiev regime. The Kiev regime. Because after that particular coup d'etat, led by the Americans, by the way, Victoria Nuland and the CIA, obviously, with a little help from MI6, to overthrow Yanukovych, who was the legitimate president of Ukraine, got rid of him. And they put in puppets, and this is what the puppets are today. The likes of Zelensky, they're all corrupt. It's been proved, yet they're still giving them money. Can you see the hatred they have for Russia? They know this man, and the corruption is immense. And they know it. They've always known, even before Zelensky. As soon as that coup d'etat was done, and they got rid of the legitimate government, this is where all the corruption started. And they knew that. And it's still going on today. Even the Western press was saying up to 2019 about the most corrupt country in Europe being Ukraine. And yet, as soon as Russia went in to save the Russian-speaking people and the Russian church, Christian church, oh, they're all right. Oh, they're not corrupt. And they're fucking giving them money knowing that they are corrupt. That's the hatred they have for Russia. Do you see what they done? When Russia went in, they give everything to Ukraine. Have they done anything about Venezuela? They're fucking turning their back on Denmark. I don't give two fucks about Denmark, to be honest. But they've turned their backs on them. And they're in the EU. About Greenland. They turned their backs on Cuba. What's fucking Cuba done? But they're going to be taken over by that Marco Rubio. He wants it badly. But they want to take over all Latin America. Trump. And he wanted the fucking Nobel Peace Prize, that fucking idiot. There's something about that Mercado as well, who just received, what is it? Was it bribes or something? Something, I forget what it is, unfortunately. Only because it's got a snippet of it. but there's something very controversial about her, and she got the Peace Prize. I know that she wanted a coup in her own country of Venezuela. I know she asked the Americans to go and fucking bomb Venezuela, her country. That would kill civilians. She's pleading. And they gave her the Peace Prize. They gave her a Peace Prize. How was that? How was that? How was that achievable? I thought a Peace Prize was like Mahatma Gandhi, to be honest. You know, someone who spread the word of peace and wants a peace, not war, not killings, not anything. Yet she fucking did. Go and bomb my country. Trump does it all the time, and he wants the Peace Prize. See what kind of unhinged people are. They think they're good by killing people. What did he say? Kill and make strength, peace. Peace is strength, yeah, okay. Fucking kill him. Is strength. You can't make these things up. You really can't. And actually says, watch The Godfather, pretty much says it all. Love you, Frank. Yeah, it does. Best film ever made, to be honest. The Godfather. Johan to the boss. Unfortunately, we live in a world of NPCs, non-player characters who just do what they are told and think what their puppet masters want them to think. Yep. There are too many puppets, unfortunately. And the whole of Europe are puppets. The whole of Europe. European leaders, I'm talking. Not the likes of Oban or Fico or that fella from the Czech Republic. And neither is, in certain things, Budic, the Serbian president. But he fucking relents as well. He bends. But he's not as bad as any of the others. He doesn't. And the boss to Johan. I don't expect anyone to have any sympathy for me, certainly not at my age, if they have no empathy or outrage at the Gaza genocide, etc. Genocide, etc. I know what you mean. Fucking hell, this thing. Do you know what I'm doing? Oh, my face is itchy, you know. Got this fucking thing. It's horrible. And it's not like just a little itch that you just do that. Fucking hell, I can't believe it. It's everywhere. It's in my eyes. It's. And I had a night off last night. It was great. I was just lying there, watching the telly, watching films, but I didn't have the itches like I have now. Fuck. The IBR. People like David Icke, Max Egan, Jason Bermas, to name but a few, say they won't allow people to retire and live to an old age that they plan to euthanize once you become no use to society. That's right. I watched a film called, what was it called? Toxic Skies, where she got killed. Anish. She got killed, didn't she, a couple of years ago? Toxic Skies. And it was about chemtrails killing off people over a certain age. You don't see it anymore. Cracking little film. It was a little TV film, if you know what I mean. And I watched it. I went, whoa. And it does give you food for thought, to be honest. She played the doctor. The doctor in it. And Donna says, you must have watched the film on it. No, yeah, I have. I have. Fascinating stuff. Fascinating stuff, Donna. Stephen Greer and those people. Well, they all worked, didn't they, for, intelligence and the retrievals of, these things, these UAPs. The retrieval of non-human form beings. Non-human. And they still try to cover it up. Remember when I mentioned about being in Germany and I was getting a lift? It was tumbling, freezing, fucking snow everywhere. And anyway, I got this lift. And it was in a Volkswagen. And when it stopped for me, I said, "Sprachen Sie English?" And in my best German. And the fellow went, "Sure, get in." An American. And this American had a beard, he had long hair. And I said, "Oh, thanks." He said, "There's a beer there in the tea." I said, "No, you're all right." In the fridge. He said, "No, get yourself one, you'll be okay." I said, "I'm not giving you one, you drive." He said, "No, I don't want one." Anyway, driving down, I said, "Well, what you do, And he surprised me because, as I said, he had a long beard, big beard, long hair. And he worked for the USAF, United States Air Force. And what he was doing at the time was going around Europe arresting AWOLs, American AWOLs who deserted from the Vietnam War. And they were bringing them together. He's going all over Europe. And he was on his way to Sweden, funny enough. So anyway, I was just talking and I said, I seen a UFO in France a couple of years ago. And he started laughing. He said, "Well, we have 6 discs in some, an area that's restricted. No one can get it. In fact, if you try to get it, you'd be shot dead. There are trained snipers around. They see anyone or unauthorized, bang, they're dead." And that was came out that it was Area 51. Area 51. What he was telling me about. I said, "Have you seen it?" He said, "No." He said, "But I have friends who've seen it, worked there." And he asked me what kind I seen. I told him. He said, that's what we've got, what you've just said. And I said to him, I said, is the different sizes? He said, yeah. He says, there's huge ones and the smaller ones. I said, well, how are the smaller ones getting from A to B? He said, no, they're on the bigger ones. They're on motherships. He said, if you think that you see something up there, he said, way out what you can't see is a big mothership. That's what he said. That they come from. And I always remember what Einstein said about bending space. So if you bent it, there's space. And if you bent it, say like, we're here, right? And there's the outer space up there, past our little planets, if you know what I mean. So you've got outer space. And you can bend it to come down to where we are here. Bending space. That's how they're here. Observing. So we have there, Johnny. Fascinating programme. The Unacknowledged. And Johan says Robert Maxwell's real name was Jan Hyman Hoch. Yeah, I know he's a Czech Jew by birth, yeah. Do you know what? He had a great voice, I didn't half like his voice. Deep. But you never know who's in front of you, do you? You never know who you're talking to. And don't forget, you've got snides, Even like friends who you think are friends, the snides. I hate snides. Snidey people. Snidey people who you talk to, and the next they go, and as soon as you walk away, they're like that about you. I don't like people like that. I don't talk to people like that. If they go to say something about somebody else, I don't want to know. But that's me. I'm not a too goody two shoes or whatever. I'm just me. I speak my mind. I speak the truth. I speak about, I balance things out. That's what my profession was, balancing. And that's why I hate propaganda. Hate it with a passion. It's just like, with Putin being involved in the Epstein files. Have you ever known anything so pathetic? They try to involve an enemy, because the Russians are the enemy to like our government. What for? What the fucking hell have they done? There's good and bad people everywhere. The IBR wasn't Maxwell an MI6 and Mossad agent? Mossad. He wasn't a double agent, but he was an agent, Mossad. That's why he was given a hero's burial on Mount Olive in Israel. And you want to say he was indeed. And Joe Mandelson was Robert Maxwell's apprentice. Yeah, and Mandelson's apprentice, and it's that fucking West Street. And people want him to be the next Labour leader. He's only a fucking young fella. West Street, prick he is. Joe. But you're right, you're so right. Just, the taxman, lovely Rita meets her maid on Cilla White, collected the coats, God bless. Her name was Cilla White, actually. Freudian slip there. No orgasms. It's terrible, isn't it? You know, like our little terminologies become so close to one another, like organisms. You know, it's so easy, isn't it? Thanks, Johan. And thank you, IBL. And that she says, peace equals war, 1984. Yep. Yes. So right there, actually, the Nobel Peace Prize and the Nobel invented by dynamite. God's help us. Yeah, Nobel, yeah. Are you Tony? Is it true that the Jews have been kicked out of nearly every country in Europe, and if so, why? Jews were kicked out of here in the 13th century. Kicked them out. Go on, fuck off. Yeah. Why? Jews were not allowed to have a profession. Did you know that? They weren't allowed. And when you look at what they did, to make a living, they took up the needle and the cotton, and they became tailors, and they saved the money. Even the spinning jetty that was out at the time, that became obsolete because of them. The spinning jenny. Because that's what you had, you know, the spinning jenny, these women making and repairing. But when they came about, it was over. Who made the British uniforms, or any uniforms, in the First World and Second World Wars? Who made the uniforms? Who were the tailors? How many uniforms? We lost 1 million men. So 1 million men had to have a uniform. Think about that. And they were banished because of greed, Tony. That's why I do a program called The History of Literature. the history of literature and tells you all about it. I'll give you, read it. But people, unfortunately, they'd rather watch a film of the novel than read the novel itself, whereas a film adapts from the content of the story, and you're missing loads. You're missing the deepness because the film wants to entertain. It won't give you the darkness, the dark side of the story that you're reading. And one of the greatest stories about certain people, a certain person, I'm not going to go into detail, is Oliver Twist. And if you know the story of Oliver Twist, you know what I mean. Who I mean. So you have literature, the way that's portrayed, and it even goes back to the contemporary of Shakespeare and Shakespeare himself and contemporaries who wrote about certain people. And that's the way they were viewed. That's the way they were viewed, unfortunately. There's loads to it. The history of literature. And on Monday, we'll be talking about some characters from Shakespeare, but also from contemporaries as well. And they'll be mentioned, these particular people. And that should answer your question, Tony, rather than me tell you now. So try and join us on Monday. Unless there's football on, and everyone loves the football, don't they? And the boss, Frank, my dear old departed ma, used to say, I don't like creepy crawlies, human or otherwise. She was a strong influence on my youth from Scottish socialist stock. Creepy crawlies, human or otherwise. Yes. Who are the creepy crawlies? Who are the creepy crawlies? I think you have good people and you have bad people. And the bad people are the creepy crawlies. They're the cockroaches. And the rats. The rodents. Snakes. Been listening a quarter of an hour, I forgot to say, hi everyone, says Paulie. Hiya, Paulie. Apparently, Putin has neo-chip drone. Oh, I don't know, yeah, I forgot to mention. The cameras on. Spies. Pigeons. This sums everything up about the West. Sums everything up about the West. Fucking pigeons with cameras on them. Spying. can't make it's like a fucking cartoon. Jesus, I'll have to stop, people. This is getting me. It's terrible. Poor Frank. I'm a lousy. Like, what? You know? My daughter Frances said, Dad, you've got to put that stuff on when you go to bed, you know. I think I might have to, you know. Might have to. I think I'll buy a pigeon. Yo, Auntie Paulie, hope you're well, mate. Oh, that's nice. Paulie. Johan, definitely on the mend. Everyone is so nice here. Thanks for calling. Thanks for asking me. It's nice. That's nice, though. CLM says the IBR. Cockroach. Yeah, cockroach. Fantastic. Cockroach lives matter. Spiders can live through radiation as well, Frank, says the Achi. Can they? Do you know what? I don't like spiders, you know. I don't like any flying fucking insects, to be honest. Don't like them. I'm a coward at that. Buonanotte, Franco, and all been listening. Very interesting comments from everybody. Enjoy tonight. Thank you once again. No, thank you for joining us, brother. And Paulie says, what's making you itch? A few years ago, I just started itching, but I started flaking as well. Flaking. I went to doctors, give me the wrong diagnosis. This lovely young Irish doctor, very pretty and everything, but she gave me the wrong diagnosis. So I went back a couple of years later. I said, this hasn't fucking stopped. And the doctors, he just, that's right, they sent me to a dermatologist. So I went in, as soon as I walked in, he knew right away what I had. And they give you this stuff. And it comes in a tub. And that's what Francine said to me, Dad, you've got over it. Because what he says is, every human being has a fungi below the face. Everyone. He said, unfortunately, it's come out on you. The fungi. To the surface. And I said, so am I a mushroom then? He just laughed. He said, that's the unfortunate thing. So he gave me these things, gave me this ointment, put on, got to keep refrigerated. It's all right putting it on in the summer because it's cold. But like now, if you put it on, but the thing is, with this ointment, it's fucking horrible. And it burns. And I mean, it burns your face, not for like a minute or so, fucking burns all the time. And I said, oh, fuck that, I can't be using that. And then I got this pot of it, unscrew it, put it on, you get a wash with it. That's fucking murder. I've never washed my face with soap for years. Years. Never ever washed my face. And they give me this stuff, but I use it now and again. They use it now and again, but still the fucking same, still flake, still. And in my scalp as well. My scalp, it's the same. So it's just the head. It's just the head. And when I feel it coming on, the itching, it goes right behind my ears, like like a little, you can feel. If you get a spot on your head, on your face, and you can feel it, below the skin coming out, that's what it comes out behind my ears, and I can feel them now. So for the next few days, I'll be itching more than I should be. That's poor Frank. Through the wars, me. Oh, fuck. And the boss says, well, Frank, hope to catch you on all our yesterdays with Frank in the morning. Be well with you and all the chatters. Good night. You never walk alone, little. Thanks, boss. Boss. And actually, spiders don't fly. A dragon flies and kills all day long in the air on the wing. What the fuck is that all about? Spiders don't fly. A dragonfly does. And it kills all day long in the air on the wing. Johnny, all right, Frank, you're falling to bits. Johnny, yes. And you know what? I just wish someone would make me a fucking cup of tea. That's a cup of tea. Would you like a cup of tea? Yeah. Ah, thank you. But unfortunately, there's no one to make me a cup of tea. And Johan, get some rest, Franco. I might not be around for the film and TV show, but please mention what the synagogue of Satan did to Hind. I heard I'll break down if I relive it. Johan, please watch the film. I know that it'll be hard, but watch the people that are talking to it. The acting is fantastic, and it's word for words what the actual people who were in communication with. Word for word. Please watch it. It's heartbreaking. Do you know what? My fucking fingers are that cold. I hate putting them on. It's freezing. In here. No eating in here. Even the fire behind me. The violin. Because whose place this is Sherlock Holmes. And there's his violin. Lovers like a violin. Oh. I'll finish anyway on this wonderful note. Thanks, Donna. I am falling to bits. Thanks, Joanne. And take care, legends. Great show tonight. Good luck for Sunday. Thank you. Mille grazie. And to all my Italian friends, mille grazie. See, I've got the itch now. Now this arm here, this'll fucking kill me in about 5 minutes for doing that. Be left out. And the beer, you should have a water bottle in the seat. Do you know what? I've got one, you know. And I forget to use it. And it's it's a fluffy thing. But you're right, and I did use it for a couple of nights, and it was good, and it was all right. I was all right with it. Paulie. Good night, all. Frank, thank you. Thanks, Paulie. Ali. Good night, all. Take care. Thank you. Ali's our Romanian friend. He's a big red, and he'd be made up if Liverpool got to the Champions League final because it's in Budapest. Oh, that's Hungary, isn't it? Bucharest, I'm sorry. Where is the flat? It's not Budapest, is it? Is it Budapest, Hungary, or Bucharest, Romania? No, it's Romania, isn't it? Anyway. The IBR. Another banger, Cesar Franco. Yeah, Tom Franco. Thanks, IBR. Freedom. Cheers, Frank, for hosting. And Donna, lovely Donna, says, have a great weekend, all. Yes, I second that motion. Have a great weekend. Fucking hell. Budapest, yeah, Hungary. And I like Oban. I'll be, hopefully, you know, if we get better with this neurosurgeon, I'll be in Italy at the time. Italia. The time of the European final. Don't mind Hungary. Don't mind Oban. Great leader. Doesn't give a fuck about the EU. Tells them they're all phony. Which they are. And on that wonderful note, I'll see some of you tomorrow, hopefully. And on Monday, don't forget the history show. It'll be good. It'll be good. Honestly, me and me mate. And I'll see you then. Thank you. And if I don't see you, have a good weekend. You deserve it. Let's hope the rain stops, eh? And the weather brightens up and a little bit of warmth comes, which I fucking doubt anyway. But anyway, good night, everyone. Thank you. Mille grazie. Ciao. Ciao, Bella.